All right, I just want to try to make a quick video. Hopefully this works out. So we're just going to go through the topics. I'm going to do one example from each topic, and then hopefully that's enough information for you guys. And again, if you need more clarifications, YouTube has so many videos out there. All right, so topic one for this second part of the Keystone Review is multi-step equations. That means I have to do multiple things to solve. If you see parentheses, you always want to distribute first. Negative 5x plus 10. Here in the second step parentheses, I'm distributing a negative 1 to both terms. So negative 1x minus 2 equals 50. After you distribute, and this is true for all equations and inequalities, you want to combine like terms on the left side and the right side. I don't have any like terms on the right side, but I do have like terms on the left. I have negative 5x and negative 1x. They're like terms. And then positive 10 and negative 2 are like terms. So when I combine my like terms, I don't use inverse operations. I just say negative 5 minus 1, that gives me negative 6x. Positive 10 minus 2, that gives me positive 8 equals 50. Now I subtract 8 from both sides. Negative 6x equals 42. Divide by negative 6. And x is equal to negative 7. There's your solution. You can always plug it back in and see if it's true if you want to. All right, that's topic 1. Topic 2. Proportions. We've done these before, okay? We're cross multiplying. Multiply on a diagonal, but be sure to multiply to both terms here, right? This is 2 times x plus 8, which gives me 2x plus 16. Do my equal sign, then I cross multiply the other way. 9 times 4 is 36. Subtract 16. 2x equals 20. Divide by 2, and x equals 10. That's how you do proportions. We've done these already, so this should not be new to you. All right, the next topic is absolute value equations. The most important thing for absolute value is to make sure that the absolute value is all by itself here, okay? So I'm going to do number 13 because I look outside. I have a negative 4 outside. This is multiplication. I want to get rid of that negative 4, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. Now I have the absolute value of 2w plus 6 equals positive 8. Because absolute values never equal a negative. But there could be a negative inside. So when you have absolute value equations, I want you to make sure that you know there's going to be 2 answers. I need 2 equations. The first equation looks just like what we have here. 2w plus 6 equals 8. The second equation is 2w plus 6. That part stays the same, right? Same inside, but I need to consider if it was a negative 8 inside, because the absolute value of negative 8 is positive 8. So I have to consider both the positive and the negative answer. Once I have that, I just solve it like I would an equation. Subtract 6, 2w equals 2, divide by 2, and w equals 1. Subtract 6, 2w equals negative 14, divide by 2, and w equals negative 7. 2 answers, 2 bars, 2 answers. That's going to happen for all of these. Make sure you clean up everything outside the absolute value bars before you make your 2 equations. All right, next topic is literal equations or multivariable equations. So these are called literal equations if you want to look them up. I don't know if I spelled that right, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. These are literal equations. We're literally solving letters. It's so weird. But I want you to treat them all just like you would an equation with numbers, okay? You're just using inverse operations. So I'm going to do number 17, okay? So I want to solve for p. That means I want p to stay, and I want to get everything else away from p. The first thing you might be thinking about, you see parentheses, you might want to distribute. But then I'm just making p bigger. I want p to be by itself, and it is kind of by itself inside the parentheses. So I'm going to get rid of that 4/3. Again, this is multiplication. And you're like, oh, I want to divide. But we don't divide fractions. We multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 3/4 to both sides. Right? These cancel out. But on the left side now, I have 3/4r equals p minus q. It's okay to get rid of the parentheses now. Okay, I want to get p by itself, but I'm subtracting q. So I'm going to add Q. There's nothing you can't combine. You just like put it all together. So 3/4 R plus Q equals P. I got P by itself. Nailed it. Just look and think what operation is happening, right? Up here in 15, this is all multiplication, so you're going to divide. In 16, you have addition and multiplication, so you're going to subtract and divide. Down here for number 18, right, you're going to subtract m, divide by 2, and then you want to unsquare. So your final step is to take the square root. All right, so practice with those. All right, the next topic is multi-step inequalities. The most important thing to remember is if you have a less than or greater than, it's an open circle. If you have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, it's a closed circle. The other important thing is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, flip the inequality symbol. Those are the most important things. All right, I'm going to do 21 for the sake of this practice. I see parentheses, I'm going to distribute. Negative 9x plus 45 plus 9 less than 3x plus 42. Every time you distribute, I want you to look for like terms. Do I have like terms on the left side or the right side? I have two numbers. Those are like terms. I'm going to bring them together. All right, now I always want to move my variable terms to the left side, so I'm going to subtract 3x. That gives me negative 12x plus 54, ooh, that's ugly stuff, less than 42. Subtract 54 and get negative 12x is less than 12. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to write this up here. Negative 12x is less than 12. I need to divide by negative 12. When you divide by a negative, be sure to flip the symbol. Okay? The solution is x is greater than negative 1. Well, greater is an open circle at negative 1, and my solutions are pointing the same direction as my inequality symbol. All right, next topic is compound inequalities, okay? Or graphs, they go this way or they go that way. They could be closed circles too. Make sure you pay attention to your symbol. If you have an and graph, this is an or, if you have an and, it's like, here's a solution, and all the numbers in between are connected. It's kind of like a dumbbell. I'm not going to worry about interval notation, so please do not mind that at all. All right, number 23 is clearly an or. Pay attention to dividing by negatives. Number 25 is an and. It's solutions in between. We solve inside out. Subtract 5 from all sides. Now, once I subtracted 5, I still want to get x by itself in the middle, so I'm going to divide by 9. Negative 4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to, oh, it's not equal to, silly goose, it's just less than, what the heck? But I need to graph that. When I graph that, it's going to be an open circle at 4, because it's less than, and it's an open circle at 3, and then we just connect the circles. Done. Again, do not worry about interval notation. Okay, so 25 and 26 are both ands.